Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, AMA urges Congress to vote no on FAA Reauthorization Bill. Mosaic movement holds hopeful signs for homebuilds and LSA. And NTSB blames Air Canada. Hello, I'm Laura Hudson. It's September 26, and this is Airborne Unlimited. The Academy of Model Aeronautics is calling on its members to urge their elected representatives in Washington to vote no on the proposed FAA Reauthorization Bill because the organization says the changes to the special rule for model aircraft, also known as Section 336, are significant. The AMA Government Relations Team says that some of the changes to Section 336 are positive and include items championed by the AMA. But when taken as a whole, the rules in the new bill will put additional and unnecessary restrictions on the model aircraft community. As written, this bill puts our community under the authority of the FAA, which means the agency can at any time impose additional regulations on model aircraft. In addition, the bill specifically imposes a 400 feet altitude limit on model aircraft operating within the programming of a community-based organization, which could potentially curtail long-standing AMA competition and events that support local charities and nonprofits. These and other changes will make it even more difficult to fly and will stifle the broader benefits of model aviation to STEM education and the broader aviation community, the AMA said. The AMA is calling on its members to contact their representatives in Washington to urge them to vote no on the bill. A vote in the House may come as early as today. After the break, Santa Monica Airport Association launches e-newsletter.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Based on the popular Sling 2 LSA, the Sling 4 was designed to be the most practical and desirable lightweight four-place experimental aircraft on the market. Find out more about this 115 horsepower turbocharged airplane at airplanefactory.com.
Welcome back. If you have a story suggestion for Airborne Unlimited, Aero-TV, Airborne Unmanned, the AMA Drone Report, our website or podcast, just email to news-by@aero-news.net. With so much news coming at the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. The Santa Monica Airport Association has launched an electronic newsletter designed to keep interested parties in the loop on SMAA and related SMO news, including updates on legal actions, information about our airport-based events, and other news of special interest to the airport community. It will also cover the actions of the Santa Monica City Council and the Airport Commission, identifying important moments that will require our mutual involvement, comments, and presence. The Palm Springs Air Museum's participation at the Reno Air Races soared to new heights this year. Their P-51 Mustang Bunny again reached the silver level like last year, and then placed third overall. 6 of the 7 aircraft were P-51 Mustangs. All aircraft were evenly matched, so pilot skill was essential. Tuskegee Airman Lieutenant Colonel Bob Friend, the world's oldest living Tuskegee pilot at 98 years old, accepted the trophy. Bunny flew in honor of Friend. Her markings matched those of the plane Friend flew during the 142 combat missions in World War II. BRS Aerospace engaged Wichita State University's National Institute for Aviation Research to develop testing protocols for evaluating the safety and performance of aircraft parachute recovery systems and GA and vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. Working with Wichita State University National Institute for Aviation Research's Crash Dynamics and Virtual Engineering Laboratories, BRS Aerospace will develop whole aircraft parachute recovery system supplemental type certificates for a range of existing general aviation aircraft and approvals for new models currently under development in addition to advanced VTOL technology. Elite Simulation Solutions has announced the availability of several new hardware products and a new version of their IFR training software. The release of the Elite XTS home software offers a variety of single and multi-engine aircraft, 4K instrument panel resolution and widescreen format, GNS and GTN series GPS options, AHRS-style avionics displays, night instrument panels, for-flight and other compatible EFB connectivity, and much more. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch. Now let's move on to the rest of the news. After an in-depth meeting with FAA officials during Oshkosh 2018, the Modernization of Special Airworthiness Certificates Rulemaking Initiative is making substantial progress. Mosaic will bring more flexibility to the construction process for kit aircraft. For example, it could allow someone to receive professional building assistance beyond the current 51% rule, or it could allow a contractor to build an entire aircraft for a client. EAA has been clear from the outset that Mosaic will not alter or inhibit the traditional path to amateur built in any way, but instead will offer an additional avenue for those wishing to use it. The FAA understands and has thus far shown nothing but support for this position. The modernization project appears to be on track to enter official rulemaking status at the FAA by early 2019. The rulemaking package also contains language causing major reform to light sport aircraft. The intent is to make the category more robust and commercially viable going forward. And while a specific proposal is not yet on the table, it is expected that a reformed LSA category will contain more qualifying aircraft as well as long-sought features including electric propulsion. At this point in the discussion, EAA and the FAA are close in expectations and alignment on Mosaic. After these messages, NTSB blames Air Canada.
In collaboration with NASC, introducing Sonex Aerospace, bringing you the Taros Group 4 UAS, the redesigned Tiger Shark Block 4, and the Subsonics Twin Jet UAS, all derived from flight-proven manned systems, not concepts, real aircraft. More at sonexaerospace.com.
Welcome back. The NTSB has put much of the blame for what could have been a massive air carrier accident last summer on Air Canada. On July 7, 2017, about 23:56 Pacific Daylight Time, Air Canada Flight 759, an Airbus A320-211, was cleared to land on runway 28R at San Francisco International Airport, but instead lined up with parallel taxiway C.1. 4 air carrier airplanes were on taxiway C, awaiting clearance to take off from runway 28R. The incident airplane descended to an altitude of 100 feet above the ground level and overflew the first airplane on the taxiway. The incident flight crew initiated a go-around, and the airplane reached a minimum altitude of about 60 feet and overflew the second airplane on the taxiway before starting to climb. None of the 5 flight crew members or 135 passengers aboard the incident airplane were injured, and the incident airplane was not damaged. The NTSB determined that the probable cause of this incident was the flight crew's misidentification of taxiway C as the intended landing runway, which resulted from the crew members' lack of awareness of the parallel runway closure due to their ineffective review of note of information before the flight and during the approach briefing. Well, that's our program for today. Remember that Airborne Unlimited is streamed on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, alternating with Airborne Unmanned on Tuesday and the AMA Drone Report each Thursday. Additional breaking news bulletins may be posted for important stories that fall outside of our normal deadlines. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe and do check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. We'll see you tomorrow.